All right, welcome to the Breaking the Mold podcast. I am joined today with an absolute legend. I am joined today with the owner of Height Digital Manchester, Logan Hughes. Logan is a great friend of mine. He has been pouring knowledge into me since me starting my agency. And I'm super stoked to have Logan on the podcast. Everyone, welcome Logan. Thank you, Logan, for joining us.
What's good, man? What's good? Yo, so thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely.
First and foremost, this setup is ridiculous.
Dude.
Anyone who
you build it.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who has seen the videos you've been posting about the podcast studio itself lives up to everything that you said.
Awesome.
So
Appreciate that.
a lot of great work, man. I'm excited to see all the content that gets created here and the guests you have on here.
Yeah. Got a good lineup coming.
Yeah, it's super legit, man. So thank you for having me.
And you get to be the first guest.
I know. It's
What an
crazy.
honor, literally,
Yeah.
to be you in this honor. You know, this is great.
It's big time.
This is great.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell everybody here? So I started a Facebook group, right, specifically modeled to people in the trades. Either you're a technician or you own a HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, general contractor, whatever it is. If you have a service that you're providing a client, I want you in this group because there's a lot of knowledge. You know that I've been in the industry for 15 years, customer service, marketing, general manager stuff. So there's a lot of knowledge that we could pour into. And I know you have a heart just like I do, right? That you just want to just pour out as much knowledge as you can, and you strive on seeing others succeed. And I know this personally because you have done that to me. You continue to do that for me. And I really appreciate that. So why don't you tell everybody, really who you are, and what you specialize in and what you do.
Yeah, man. So thank you for that. It's been a long road for the agency side of things for myself. I started, so backtracking a little bit, I was working as in medical device sales in Boston for 7 years, and I was doing a lot of inventory management for them and running into hospitals and so forth. And although the job was very secure, I felt like my soul was being literally sucked from my body, right? I'm a very creative person at heart. I graduate graphic design, music and everything, and just someone of creative nature. And it got to the point where I had to make a move. And I found an ad by someone called Ty Lopez, who, if you're in the marketing space, you know exactly who this guy is. He's been around forever. I saw an ad for him about talking about, you can do social media management for companies. And I was like, well, this is great. I can start, using some of my design capabilities that I actually graduated school with to actually help business owners out. And that steamrolled into me really creating, at the time, a quote unquote agency. I think at the time I was doing a lot of freelance work, but I ended up finding my way into website design, and that was really kicked everything off. Being able to work directly with the business owner, build something that is going to not only look beautiful but actually work for their business is really where everything sort of came together. So that I ran my agency for around 2 years or so, 2.5 years. And luckily I found, Height reached out to me, and we went through the process of going through this whole franchising deal. It was a whirlwind of a couple months. Flew to Nicaragua and trained with, a lot of the people down there, met the team, got, incorporated with the culture itself. And
I started to see that you were doing that, and I thought you were absolutely crazy, because I did see, well, first I was jealous, look at you in Nicaragua. This is sick. You were posting some pictures, but the picture I remember you seeing, this agency makes sure that their franchisees are legit and that they are aligned with their values. And I now know Height because of you and stuff like that. Great company, great organization for you to be a part of. But one thing I remember seeing was you in that ice bath.
Oh yeah.
and as we know now on social media, right? Anyone that does an ice bath is going to be a millionaire someday. So we're in the presence of a future millionaire here, because he has been in an ice bath. Have you invested in one yet?
No, not yet. I wish if I had the space to do so, I probably would have.
Yeah.
But no, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, Height, they definitely bring in people who fit within the culture and what their values are. And that's something that was extremely important to me when becoming a franchisor in itself was, do I align with the culture? Is it going to be a really good place to work? And everyone down there is just not only amazing, but extremely knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
So feeling incredibly blessed to be a part of that group and everything that comes with it. So yeah, and then here we are, so I've definitely grown a lot since merging with them. We have a really great team in place and still trying to provide unmatched services from a marketing strategy perspective, but also just being a normal human being who just wants to help others out. So.
Yeah, I think one thing I love about being able to work with you, and which we'll get into because we do have clients that we work together on, is that you also, with your agency, you do also focus a lot on the trades, right? With roofing and electrical companies, plumbing companies, HVAC and stuff like that. Yep. And a lot of people would be like, Matt, you're crazy. Why are you having this guy on? He's a direct competitor of yours, right? But the thing that we've come to know, and something that I'm grateful to figure out early in my agency, is that there are so many businesses out there. Yeah. There's so many opportunities out there that when you start thinking of everybody as a competitor, instead of looking at, another agency that's just trying to serve and help local businesses. And I think a lot of HVAC companies, plumbing companies, anyone in the trades, if you have that mentality of that everyone is a competitor, you're just going to drive yourself absolutely crazy. You're going to get in your head. You're going to be spending way too much time searching what they're doing, and you're not focusing on you. You're not focusing on your values. And that's something that you've actually helped me with as well. With when I first started off, and we were talking because, and like I said, we'll get into working with Spark Electrician Services. But I do remember telling you, be like, man, look at this guy. He's stealing all my ideas, and you're like, dude, you don't dwell about that stuff. Don't dwell about that stuff because one, it's the agency space. There's not much to talk about. We can talk about websites, SEO, social media management, PPC and stuff like that. There's only a core value of things that we can talk about. So at some point you're going to think someone's stealing your content, but we're really just talking about how to serve and help local businesses. And that's one thing that I love working with you directly. And when I was the operations manager at Spark Electrician Services, we needed marketing help. I was knowledgeable in the field, but I obviously wasn't running an agency at that point. I knew what we needed to do and what we were struggling with, right? And you were a huge help jumping in. And this is when you were 7th level, right? And we got to witness just your growth within that time. And, Spark has been blowing up, dude. Spark has been blowing up, and all credit to us.
None to
none to those hard-working electricians that go in every day, value what they're doing, value their customers, and I think that's really important too. So I'll hit on that real quick. Is like when you hire an agency and when you're talking marketing, if your marketing agency has better values than you do, and you're not lined up, there can be a disconnect there, right? So it's really important that if you don't have a mission statement, vision statement, values and stuff like that as a business, just go back and get that, right? Because it's important to have an agency that's going to be lined up with that, right? And lined up to see you succeed. Yeah,
and it's ultimately, it's a partnership between two businesses, right? And I think, and it works both ways with marketing agencies and business as well, because believe me, I'm sure you've had previous clients too where they sort of see you as an employee of their business. They might talk to you certain ways or, ask you to do things immediately. And you're like, whoa. Right. Let's take a step back and sort of reevaluate where we're both coming from. And that's that partnership that I think we both sort of, preach to other businesses. It's a partnership.
For sure.
We are helping you out.
For sure.
You're helping us out. And we need to have constant communication and building this relationship. And ultimately, I think that's where some marketing agencies absolutely fall short. They're keen on sales, they're keen on selling, and their churn rate's super high. The retention's really, really low. So that partnership is so important to me personally.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when I was working at Spark, right, and this is a story I tell often, is we were trying to build relationship with our customers before coming out. So that's when I started kind of inventing marketing on the move before it was so popular and cool. And I would be going out to seeing our technicians, taking pictures of them and just trying to build trust, and that became popular, right? So we started picking up some steam with this marketing stuff, and that's when we're like, all right, we need to dabble a little bit more. Can't just be Facebook, right? Facebook, I think, is just like a great branding tool. Show people who you are. People go to your website to find out what you do. They see on social media really who you are, what your values are, and stuff like that, right? So they work really well together. And you ended up building us a brand new website for Spark because it just was not up to par. It was very old. I can't even remember what it looks like. But
I think it was on Squarespace or Wix or something.
Yeah, which guys, if you have a Wix, Squarespace website, GoDaddy, you need some help. I mean, they work. You get it's an easy to create templated website. You get something up there, and that's step one. That's great, right? If you need to do that's great. You need to have something up, right? But if you're looking to get to the next level with SEO, with content, you definitely need to upgrade as your marketing strategy upgrades. And that's taking it off of Wix, off of GoDaddy, off of Squarespace, getting a WordPress website where you can just master your SEO presence, right? So that's one thing that we did with you, and you killed it. Still kill it. We still are going in there making edits and updates. Don't set it and forget it. Don't set and forget your website. Consistently add content, blogs, change SEO, change keywords, change pictures around. Just keep it updated for sure. That's a big thing. But we also started to see growth with just their phone calls, technicians growing, and it's been a really cool experience just to see how far they've grown from when we first started their marketing strategy.
It's just been a really great experience working with you and Justin and Keith and the team over there. They're just really great people, and it just all worked out. And again, kudos to Justin and Keith and yourself for in keeping things rolling, because a lot of this stuff takes time, right? And
for sure.
As business owners who need to generate revenue, right, pay the employees and do the whole thing, they want to see things happening relatively quick, right? We've been working with them now for I think several years at least a year and a half, and they believed in the process, and it's a testament to their belief in trusting the process and following through with it, right? You have some clients and some times where businesses, after several months are just willing to throw in the towel, and I guess there's many circumstances that come into play with the reasoning why. But if the agency is doing what they're supposed to be doing, communicating properly, telling you that this is something that could take a little bit longer, I would say, believe in them, right? Because, hopefully these agencies are doing what they should be doing, and it takes time, right? And over time now they have a sustainable process for generating leads where they don't have to rely on referrals or word of mouth. Those are great things to have, right? Probably some of the best leads to get.
For sure.
If you're solely relying on those and you're just waiting for that next call, that's a really, really tough position to be in, and they don't literally have to worry about that anymore. So kudos to those guys.
I mean, you often see so many agencies out there make promises that we in the agency business understand they're just absolutely, you can't keep those promises. So we'll say, if your agency, let's list off a few promises that we just know that agencies cannot provide, right? And I think the first promise that comes to my mind is promising that within a month you'll be blown up, right? This SEO strategy is gonna blow up for you in 30 days, right? We both know it can take 3-6 months, a year for a proper SEO strategy to really get in the swing of things, right? We've heard agencies say their communication's really well, and then you never hear from them after 3 months, right? The set it and forget it mentality that agencies can get when you're dealing with a lot of people that are not local,
right?
You have no idea really where they're out of. Their website says they're based in Texas, but they don't sound like they're from Texas, right? So you know what I'm talking about. What are other few things that you might see that are just absolutely red flags when someone in the trades is looking for a marketing agency?
I think the big thing is how many leads can be guaranteed for the business, right? from a marketing perspective, it's really, really difficult. And I try, as crazy as this might sound, to shy away from telling a business owner, hey, we can get you so and so many leads per month. There's many factors that comes into the lead generation process, right?
And you probably get a million Facebook messages a month, right?
Oh, well, I mean, go to any Facebook group and there's like, I can guarantee you 15 to 20, 100 leads a month.
Can you handle another 30 calls a month?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Right. So
and we know you're getting those Facebook messages, especially the ones that I'm doing their social media. I'm seeing those messages.
Yeah.
They come around. I would say you get one a day.
Yeah.
Can you handle? Do you do residential service?
Right.
Do you do commercial service?
Right.
Can you handle another 50 leads per month?
Right. Right. Yeah, that's played
bogus.
Out. It's played out. But that's and it works both ways, right? The marketing agency itself leads are ultimately what we want to get. But there's so many different factors that come into play to that. So what we would advise or look to do is to set up a strategy that will eventually get to the point where the leads are coming in and you don't have to worry about that, right?
Yeah.
1 month starting up, it could be low. The next month could be high. The next month could be a medium range. There could be a dip. And we're always constantly testing and adjusting what strategies work best. You're never going to find an agency that can deliver that many leads. And if they do, and they say they do it, I can almost guarantee you that these are very unqualified leads, right? Yep. So when we talk about lead generation, we need to have conversations with the business owner around how many leads you're looking for a month, how many can you close, what's ideal cost per conversion or cost per lead, taking all those factors into place and then developing a strategy around that. Because most importantly, again, we could get you 100 to 200 leads. Spark is at 250 right per month right now. But it's been on us to be able to qualify those leads, because if 250 leads is great, wow, that's a huge number. But if 249 of them are unqualified or spam,
right,
what's happening here, right? So it's all about the qualifying leads and so forth. So that would be my biggest one.
Yeah, for sure. How often do you hear when you're working with a new client, right, that the last agency I had, it was so good for 3-6 months, and then communication really started lacking, and they weren't getting back to us, or we're performing and stuff like that. That's just making so many promises out the gate that sound so good that you have no other option other than say yes. Yeah. And then it just dwindles down. And that's what I've seen anyways, just being in this space for a year and a half now, talking to people. And the other one is, well, let me say this real quick, right? Just, and this will resonate to the people that are in this group, because you're not always the cheapest HVAC company, plumbing company, electrical company out there, right? And the thing that I know by working in the trades for 15 years, you cannot stand when a customer gets upset over your pricing, right? You value your pricing, you put a lot of work into it, you put a lot into work into training, overhead, technicians, office staff, whatever it is, you put a lot of time and effort, and you have to really be comfortable with your pricing, right? So when you give an option that so-and-so costs $500, when that customer's like, that's too expensive, that's absurd, you're like, okay, I trust this price. I know this price has value in it. And if you can't see it, then I'm sorry. Maybe the salesperson wasn't able to build enough value, or the technician, whatever it is. But that's the same thing for marketing space, right? Like, oh man, your marketing agency is so expensive. Or you always go with the cheapest option. You don't want your clients and your customers going for the cheapest option. So why would you hire the cheapest option for your marketing? So true. And that's a huge struggle, and something that we always have to overcome, right? Because we know our value. We know we're not going to overcommit, overpromise anything. What we'd rather do is just be completely authentic, be completely upfront and honest with you, and come in and just blow those expectations out of the water.
For sure. Yeah, all that is absolutely true. The one thing that I would add to that is, when we're talking about dollar signs, we need to be able to have a measurable ROI to make any sense whatsoever. Right. If a business is operating, $150,000 a year, technically speaking, a business should put 7% or so of annual revenue into marketing, right? So you're talking about a couple $1,000s here to utilize for marketing, right? So what does that look like? You know, do you not have as a website on Squarespace? Are you looking for SEO? Well, if you're looking for SEO, but you have a Squarespace, Wix, Weebly website, you know, you're not going to be able to get.
Yeah.
So you're basically wasting a lot of that money, where it could be invested in something else. So we are very, very, very ROI driven when it comes down to any strategies. And there's been times where I've had to tell the business owner, hey, we need to start either here, or we really can't do anything at this moment, because you know, if we're selling, you know, Facebook ads for $9.98 a month with additional ad spend that the client has to take care of, but their services is, you know, $50.
Yeah,
what's the ROI going to be on that? Right.
Yep.
So again,
For sure.
any marketing agency probably out there would be like, hard sell, let's get them in the door. But if it doesn't make sense to the business owner, then it's ultimately not going to work out. So it's very important.
So another big thing, right? And I know this breaks your heart every time you hear it, right? Is when you get a new client and you come to find out they do not own the rights to their own website that's probably been up for years, right? They don't own the rights to their website. So I know, you know what, I'm just going to give you the floor with this one, because I know you're passionate about this one. I know you just recently posted about it.
Yeah.
It instantly it's a gut punch, right? Every time you hear that, they don't own their website.
Yeah, and listen, I don't want to turn this into you know, an agency bashing session here, but what I wanted to, the post I put out the other day was basically wanting to hold accountable people who are not doing things for the right reasons. And it's getting to a point now where I've consistently talked to business owners weekly, and around half of the time when we're talking about just websites in general, they don't know if they own it, or they come to me and say, hey, I'm in a situation where this agency, if we shut off their hosting, or if we shut off this $250 a month SEO package, that they lose their website. Meaning, if they leave them, the website that this agency built is gone. They're out of nothing. And when it comes down to just doing the right things for business owners, every owner should have the right to their own website.
Absolutely.
Right? You should have admin access to it. That should be your property. Now, you know, there's some businesses where possibly this renting model makes sense from an agency perspective, but for me, it's never like that. And again, time and time again, this comes up, and it just really, really irritates me, because we're in a situation right now where our domain is being locked up. We can't get access to it. We can't move it over and actually host the website at all. The website's down, and that type of deal, that whole scenario too, is just a whole thing in itself, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a business owner, if you're watching this, my suggestion would be to look immediately into, if you're working with the agency, ask them if you were to shut down services with them, is your website gone? Or do you have actual login information to your website and to your domain? That would be the biggest recommendation I have for someone right now.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing it so often. And again, I don't want to talk too much about this, but when a business owner is just getting started, they're looking for any help they can get.
Right.
Most of the times it's the cheapest, you know, thing they can get their hands on, and they just don't know, right?
Yep.
So, and that's another fault of the market agency. Market agencies should be able to communicate and be transparent with their services and products. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a big
Yeah, it's tough. It's so hard when, I mean, think about if you're a consumer and you need a HVAC company and you go on Google and you click their website option and it's not there.
Right.
It's just gone. Right. There's nothing there. It says error code 403 or whatever it is. It's terrible. That's instantly someone that's not going to call you. Right. They might think you went out of business. And it's not good if your website has to go down for any reason. And that's one thing that, like you said just a minute ago, it's something we're dealing with, unfortunately, for one of our clients that is just in a poor situation right now that we're trying to rectify and help them out with. But and we'll get it rectified, and we'll help them out with it, and we'll get them up and running, and they're going to do amazing things because they got the good marketing mindset right now for their business. Reviews. Let's talk about reviews for a second. It's obviously crucial to get reviews for your business.
Yes.
So I'll let you speak into that. I'm going to speak first into, responding to reviews.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think a lot of businesses out there have a great amount of reviews, but Google loves when you respond to your reviews.
Yep.
You got to respond to your reviews.
Yep.
Don't go on there and just say, thanks, Mrs. Smith. Thanks for that 5-star review, Mrs. Smith. Right. If you're working in the business, you know what you did for that client.
Yes.
It's very important to be like, Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for your review. We are so pleased that you are happy with your new HVAC. What am I trying to think here? Let's go with a water heater because that's easy. That's on my mind right now. I don't know why, but Mrs. Smith, we're so glad we're able to come out to Concord and get that new water heater installed for you. Thank you so much for using Ryder Plumbing and Heating. Yes. We can't wait to service you again, right? You talked about the location, the service, and the business name in that review, which are just 3 amazing keywords that you have in that, and that's something Google is going to just eat up and absolutely love. And
100%.
that's for every single one of your reviews, responding to every single one of those. Don't let one go untouched. If there's a negative one, respond to that negative review in a professional way. Don't bash the client. Don't do any of that. Respond in a professional way. So when people go on there and they see that you have a negative review, because let's face it, we're going to have a negative review at some point, right? If clients can see how you handle that negative circumstance, it's going to just build confidence and trust, right? Instead of just getting super defensive, because I've seen that and it kills me. You don't know what you're talking about, Mrs. Smith. We came out there and did this. If you don't like our prices, find someone else, whatever it is. It's just like, oh man, you can't be doing that. You're a professional establishment, act in a professional manner, and just badmouth that client afterwards, to your other peers. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Be kind to everyone. But getting those reviews is crucial. Something Spark started hammering hard when I was there and stuff like that. Something that we're really focusing on and driving heavy is getting those 5-star reviews. The more you have, when you get that 1-star review, it's not going to affect you. Right. If you only have 10 reviews and you get a 1-star review, it's going to destroy your reputation. You have 500 reviews and you get a 1-star review, it's barely going to do a dent.
Yeah, for sure. And I think too, I know you and I both get calls when a bad review comes in for a client, and by all means, it's a very sucky feeling, right? Totally. You never want to be having to deal with that. For the most part, you always want to be able to deliver the best customer service you can ever possibly.
It's even worse when you get a 1-star review for cutting someone off on the highway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It happens, right? I'm sure anyone can relate to that. You may not even service this client, but you cut them off by accident on the highway and they write you a bad review.
Something along the lines.
It's unfortunate.
Right. But here's the thing, though, is that consumers are also looking at the fact that if a business has 500 5-star reviews, there's something weird going on there, right? Now businesses are able to literally buy reviews for their businesses.
I've seen that, the little bots.
So if you do have one and your ratings 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, whatever it may be, that's all. I try to always flip the mindset around on that, because consumers are also looking at that, being like, something isn't right there, right? It looks good, but who knows what the business owner is actually doing? So
it's I've seen those just recently, and it's you can tell.
You can tell.
If we can tell, Google can tell. Right? And they're gonna start cracking down on it, just like Facebook and Instagram crack down on when you buy followers. Right? They know, and that's gonna mess with your algorithm. It's gonna make you rank lower and stuff like that. Google's gonna catch up on this if they haven't already. I'm sure they have. Google's amazing, but I've seen that all the time. Fake profile picture, it can either just be a 5-star with no description, or the description's very like Chat GPT-ish right there, and even the responses are not even the business. The responses are also fake. So you can tell. So don't be authentic, right? You have to be authentic. If you're a local business, you have to be authentic, because you just want to build value. You're not building value by buying your way to the top. It's just going to come to bite you in the butt in the long run. Let's talk about. I have 200 reviews. Let's talk about Spark. All right, let's jump right into the awesome win we just had because of your brilliant mind. Spark had how many reviews?
They had say it was 259 at the time.
259. Have you ever been told, "Hey, I left you a 5-star review," and you're like, "Oh, I never saw it come in." Right? That happens. Google might put some reviews into Google jail, into review jail.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It might have been a great review. Bots are causing this, guys. This is the outcome of bots, right? Google's trying to crack down on this stuff.
Yep.
So there's some reviews that are real and authentic that you worked so hard for that 5-star review, right? It could be hard for a technician to ask for a 5-star review.
Yeah.
But the other tip I'll also give, and I'm backtracking here, that's just how my mind works, is that if you're looking for reviews and you need to get reviews, the biggest selling point is having your technicians ask while they're on the job site.
Yes.
The second that technician leaves, the likelihood of getting that review drops like half, drops like 50%. Right? The customer's on a high. You just fix their situation. You're the superhero. They're so pleased with everything. Capitalize, ask for a review. Logan has a great template that he can send you for capitalizing those reviews with as easy as a QR code, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I took the strategy from what you did with Spark, right? I mean, I don't at the time, I'm not sure if this was planned out, but I think when we mentioned, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when Spark, when you were working there, it was like 50 or something along the lines of that, right?
It was under 100.
It was under 100. Yeah. So within, I don't know, less than a year, they've grown to 100, 150 reviews.
Yeah.
Based on the strategies that you implemented.
Yeah.
Right. And it's
those guys were killing it getting those reviews.
Yeah. And it's something that when we're talking about reviews, I'm like, man, this needs to be, we got to emphasize this whole entire strategy, and it is incredibly easy to set up. So I created it's a free template on Canva. I'm sure everyone out there has Canva. If not, it's free. And it's a super easy template. It's a business card that basically has a QR code on it. Backside just has basic business information, but to your point, after a job is completed, when the customer is on a high note, and you're ready to pack up, just slip them this card. Be like, hey, we'd love to, get your feedback on the work that we've done. All you have to do is scan the code here to leave us a review. We'd love your feedback, right? And more than enough, they will do it at that instant while you're cleaning up, or
absolutely
getting ready to leave.
Yeah, right? I always say give it.
Yeah,
I say give it to the customer during your cleanup process. Yep. Right, while you're cleaning up, because if they run into a problem like, hey, it's not working, whatever the case may be, or if it's, listen, exactly. There's a lot of people that are technically challenged, right? Even if it's as easy as scanning a QR code, they might not have their Google account on their phone, whatever it is, right? And you can help them walk through the process of leaving that review. Don't just leave it and expect them to do it. Follow up, ask them about it. Did you have a chance to leave that review? Do you have any questions about that review?
Yes.
And always tee them up like, hey, listen, I hope you had a pleasurable experience with us. I'm glad we're able to fix your situation. If you were to rank us between 1 and 5, what would it be? And they're like, oh, absolutely 5. Like, oh, we'd love to hear that. Please, here's scan this and leave us a review, either on Google or even Facebook. Definitely Google's number 1. You want to rank that up. Once you get 500,000 reviews on there, you want to throw some to Facebook to start ranking there a little bit better. Go for it. But definitely want to push your Google presence for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I have a free template that's available. Just send me a DM message, anything in the group. I can get that over to you. I'll send you over a quick video tutorial on how to change everything out. Again, it's incredibly easy. Within 5 minutes, you'll have a really good strategy for your business. And recently, I just implemented this within a painting business in Exeter, and I think within a week they had 5 new reviews.
Yeah.
Right. And you mentioned something too that's also important, is the follow-up process, right?
Definitely.
So, we've noticed, and we've ran some tests on this, is that the conversions on someone leaving a review goes up. I can't remember, it's 30-40% on the third time that you ask them, right? So the first time that you initially try to get the review, it's pretty low.
And this is after the call. This is a day or so afterwards. You're just following up.
Exactly. The second time, they will be okay, I'll get to it, don't worry.
Yeah.
It's that third time where they're like, okay, I need to do it. And in fact,
Yeah.
what's funny about that is I had a client that we just launched a website for. We did their branding and so forth, logos and everything. Went through the same process. Messaged them once about the review, get to it. Messaged them twice, get to it. Got the review today. This was the third time I did it, right? So
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Chase them down. Because and another really essential part of this is everyone knows Google reviews are important for just branding trust, right? Again, if you go online, plumbers near me, finding out who has the best reviews for super important. But Google just recently changed their algorithm within the last several months, I believe, and they put more of an emphasis on ranking factors due to Google reviews.
Nice.
Right? I think beforehand it was around 11%. Now it's around 15%.
Wow.
So they're putting a more emphasis on that. So the more that you can get reviews, quality reviews, leaving really good structured replies, the better your local SEO is going to do.
That's so important, guys. We'll listen. You got to bring this home. Like you have to reply to these reviews. It's so crucial. It's almost like they're non-existent if you're not communicating. And it's just as Facebook, Instagram. If you're not communicating to the community and not responding and not engaging, it hurts. Sure. It can hurt you. So it's as easy as just replying. If you have a customer service rep, or if you're even the owner doing it all, just sit down, take 20 minutes, reply to all of your reviews. If you haven't already, say you've been in business for 7 years and you have 200 reviews and you haven't replied to any of them, start knocking off 10, 15 a day or something like that. Just start responding to them.
And if you do that, check your performance in your Google My Business page, because I can almost guarantee if you have, let's say 50, right? Or even lower, maybe like 20 or 10, right? I can almost guarantee that there would be an uptick in website traffic because of that, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're using location, service keywords, branding keywords, and so forth in their reply, right? There's so many little hacks that you can do with Google My Business page it's just really.
And these are free tips. This is something you don't have to hire an agency to do. You can handle this yourself. You just need to be very intentional with it, and you need to just jump on it and do it. There's absolutely no excuse not to do it.
Right.
You just need to. It's crucial for your business to rank organically. If you're not having a huge Google or SEO strategy going on, this is just something a new business can do. Just do it. Just do it.
Pretty much.
Okay. Hopefully our mics were on when we said just do it.
Exactly.
Come on. Don't come after me, Nike. Let's talk about reviews that are missing. We have seen with Spark, you started saying, hey, listen, how many reviews do we think missing? Because it's an ongoing thing. People have said that, right? And they had 259 reviews, right? And then you went in and you got them freed. You paid the debt for those prisoners to be released, and it brought us to 300 reviews. 41 of them out of 259, 41 of them were in jail, in Google review jail. And that's something that we want to help with. Something Logan can help with is freeing those up. So not only does he have the template that's for easy access to leave behind for the QR code and stuff like that, but if you need help unleashing your reviews that have been your friends and family or customers have promised that they've left and they're not there, drop your email in the comments and we'll reach out to you and we will help you get those freed.
Yeah, absolutely. Send me a message. Let's connect. This is something that, I think everyone who is trying to generate reviews on Google has come across a time where so-and-so left me a review. I'm not saying what's happening, right? Like it happens so much. And the process is relatively easy. It can take up to a week. One thing that we would just need access to is your Google My Business page. That's really it. From there, we'll take care of it. But let's get those reviews back because, Spark already was crushing at reviews. But just think about the amount of jobs and additional revenue coming in based
Mhm.
off of those reviews
Yeah,
alone.
for sure.
Right? That 259 to 300, that's a huge
So
difference.
valuable too.
Incredibly valuable.
Think about like the one thing that we did with Spark to get the huge bump in reviews was we were spiffing our technicians.
Yeah.
Right. So we would either give a direct bonus, like, hey, you get this month you get 0 to 5 reviews, you get $20. You get 5 to 10 reviews, we'll give you $100.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. Or we would be like, hey, listen, you get a review, we drop your name in a hat, and at the monthly meeting we pick a winner.
Yeah.
We started implementing like a big wheel we would spin and stuff like that had a bunch of different prizes on there that they can win. So think about that, right? Think about spiffing your technicians a few $100 each technician.
Sure.
Say you have 4 technicians and you're spiffing them each $200. That's $800 you spent on getting reviews, right? If 40 of those go missing, right? What's it worth it?
Right.
So we're gonna offer that, right, for $500.
Yep.
For customers for you guys, a discounted rate of $500 to get your reviews freed up.
Yeah.
Right? No, that's not even it. That's not even it, guys. Think about how much you would pay to have 40, 50, even 10 more reviews tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? And this guy right here, like I told you in my little Facebook post, a little secret here, it's going to be free to the people in this group.
100%. Yeah. So, like I said, we want to, with this group, we definitely want to bring some value here and do things for the right reasons. And, ultimately, you and I are both service first, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Putting that first and foremost. So, whatever we can do to help, and don't let those hard-earned reviews go to waste. So, even if you think it's one, right? Maybe you're missing one review. Let's get in touch. Let's see what we can do to get those back and get you in good standing. Because who knows? There could be 2, there could be 10, it could be 15, right? So let's go ahead and get those done.
I mean, in this group, I know for a fact there's a few guys that have been in business for years.
Yep.
Probably just as long as Spark has.
Right.
And if you have those that are hidden, or if you don't even know, what's there to lose?
Right.
It's free.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yep.
We'll look into it for free.
Take a look.
We'll help you out. We'll hook you up. We're going to get those reviews freed up, and I'm excited to see how many we can get freed up in this group.
Yeah.
So leave your email in the comments
Yep.
if you want us to reach out to you with Logan's template to get anything freed up. And we'd also love to see in the comments, right? Like, Logan's going to come on a few times. This isn't going to be a one-time thing. We like to call ourselves the super marketing bros.
Yeah.
TM. I just trademarked that. Did you hear that? And we're going to have him on multiple times. So if there's anything that we didn't talk about, I mean, it's been 50 minutes since we started talking, I think. There's so much more knowledge here. So if there's anything you want us to really focus in on and hone on, or something you're struggling with your organization and your business, marketing related, we'll get Logan back in here. We'll sit down and we can start going through those questions.
Absolutely. Love to do that.
So anything else you want to add? How can people find you, Logan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty active on Facebook. So just look up Logan Hughes. You see, the green profile pic there, with my face on there. That's the one. I communicate a lot through Facebook. I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn, but send me a direct message. You'll find my phone number and my email on there as well. But anything through Facebook. I'm always looking to, communicate with everyone. Even if it's just about family stuff.
And I'll tag you. I'll tag you when we post this video, so people can find you. And people can hear your raps.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you might not know this, or you might, and if you do, you've already been blessed. That this is the rapping marketer. Maybe next time we'll have you rap. You know what I mean? We'll just freestyle something.
Episode 2 is coming out hopefully soon. I got something.
I love that. I love that. So scroll down in his Instagram and his social media videos and stuff like that. You'll see exactly what we're talking about. This guy is a rapper. He's legit. He's legit. But anyways, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on. I hope we built some value here. Again, please leave any information in the comments. Let us help you. Let's get these reviews freed up.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see. I hope it's hundreds, dude. I hope it's hundreds that we were able to help with that. If you have any marketing questions for our next time we have Logan on, throw them in the comments. And thank you for sticking with us for this conversation. Thank you for being in this group. Logan, thank you.
Thanks for having me on, man.
And God bless. Thanks, everybody.